Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick review of the Harbor Freight Flux Core Titanium Flux 125. I'm just finishing up working on some sliders here for the 80 series Land Cruiser, and I've done quite a few things with it, including the sliders in my rear bumper. I was able to weld the whole rear bumper together, which was 3/8 inch steel, mild steel, just with the Flux Core welder. So I just want to kind of give a review of what I think about it and what its capabilities are, and I happen to personally love it. So without further ado, what we have here is the Harbor Freight Flux 125. You can do research on what flux core is. Basically, there's flux already in the welding wire, so there's no gas required. And it's really a good place to start out as far as your first welder is concerned. In my opinion, this is the first welding machine that I have worked with. I worked with MIG before in a shop, but a lot of the welding that I do is outside and not in favorable conditions for gas, especially not something like TIG, and I'm not even close to skilled enough to be able to get into one of those. Anyways, it's very small, very compact. I think it's around 15 pounds. It comes with this little nylon strap here to carry it around with. As you open it up here, you have your spool, which can only handle a 2-pound spool of wire, but that's plenty enough for what I'm doing, since I'm just more of a hobbyist, using it. It has your wire control here with the, you can adjust the tightness, and then there's two wheels. You can flip a wheel over for 030 and 035. I've been working with 035 pretty much the whole time because it has the settings here, as you can see, pretty much just all dialed out there for you as far as the voltage and the wire speed. This hooks up to your 110, your traditional just wall plug outlet, so there's no need to get a 240 volt there. Some other things that I find useful, or that I got at Harbor Freight as well. Oh, first of all, this is $180 I got it for. It might have been on sale, so very competitive pricing as well. Again, there's no gas required, which is great. So you have your MIG gun here, which you obviously feed your wire through. It does come with extra electrodes and a tip. I don't use the plastic tip because I don't really find it that necessary. Once you have it dialed in, it's great. Obviously, you have your ground connection here. I went ahead and just got a little welding cart from Harbor Freight for like 30 bucks. It's kind of chintzy, but it does the trick. Other things that you're going to need, I happen to have a Lincoln Electric welding helmet that I was able to get, which is great. You can just get one from Harbor Freight as long as it works, it works. I did get the basic MIG welding gloves here. And it comes with this spool of 030 flux core welding wire, so you're ready to go. That having been said, I haven't really used it because of the thickness of material that I've been working with. It calls for something a little bit thicker, which would be the 035. Those are your two general choices with this. I don't think there's anything else that you can really use. I've just upgraded to these Vulcan, which is like the nicer brand through Harbor Freight. Probably I think it's their top tier. They don't offer a flux core through Vulcan, I don't think, but this thing has worked just great for me. Yeah, so you're gonna need also your welding pliers, a slag hammer. I got some welding sleeves, and that saved a lot of my shirts as far as the spatter. This Berger wire brush. And I happen to really like this Forney welding wire. They just happen to have it at my local Ace, and that's what I've been using. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and take a look at some of the welds and get to welding just a couple coupons of 3/8 inch mild steel, and we'll see what it can do. All right, so you can see there's a little bit of porosity. My settings were probably not right for that. I had it on thicker before. So yeah, and there's always a good deal of that slag, or that kind of brown slag, that flux. And then of course, like I was saying, the Seagull crap. But I could dial that in and get a better bead going. Like I said, it ain't pretty. This is actually over here is a stick weld that I was trying. which is a lot prettier. But this is the Flux core here. Again, it's not pretty, but I wouldn't be satisfied with that if I was doing that on a structural piece. But you know, for the most part, for what it is, and being able to weld on dirty pieces of material, even rusted, it's not that bad. Thanks. Now, as with anything, it does take a little bit of trial and error, and just trying to find to dial in your settings to get your wire feed speed and your voltage right for the amount of for the thickness of steel or the type of material you're working with. I've really got it dialed in now, and I'm pretty confident that I can weld pretty much anything up to about 3/8 inch or 1/2 inch steel. It does help in some cases to preheat your material, or if you've already been welding that piece for a while, if it's already hot, that definitely helps flux core out. Now let's talk about probably the most notorious thing that flux core is known for, and probably hated for, is that type of kind of spattery, what people refer to as seagull crap, spatter that comes off of the flux. It's obviously not aesthetically as pleasing as something like MIG, or especially like a TIG, or even stick welding, to be honest. So the weld quality, the appearance, is going to probably be the ugliest out of all of them. There's probably people that are great at them, a lot better than myself, but again, I'm just a weekend hobbyist, and it works perfectly for what I need. So you can clean all that up with an angle grinder. My truck has 300,000 miles on it, and I'm not really interested in trying to make it like a trophy truck or doing a full restoration, so it works for me. I just need my sliders and my rear bumper to protect me and prevent panel damage. And then the greatest thing, and you guys hear me talk about Harbor Freight stuff all the time, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, obviously, but I'm a huge fan of anything from Harbor Freight, because if you buy their warranty, the protection plan, you really get a lot of value out of it, because you can return it if it doesn't work, or you can even exchange it. I bought a stick welder and tried that out and returned it because it wasn't really what I needed. So yeah, I just have nothing but good things to say about it. And if you're looking for something to get started with, to learn about welding, there's plenty of videos online. I'm not even going to try and teach you anything, because I'm learning myself. But as you can see, it's done a pretty good job, and it works for what it's supposed to. Anyways, that's the titanium 125 flux welder from Harbor Freight. Definitely give it a shot if you're looking at getting into welding.